What's good, everyone? Salute. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side. 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 A-Side official, baby. This is in the AM. I know it's been a minute. But you know, when I'm on it, I'm in it. So I had to get on here and talk about a situation that's going on in the forever loving sport of boxing. All right? Boxing seems to always have soap opera filled topics of discussions, whether it be, you know, something that's reported or just a dialogue, a conversation. I'm going to talk about Martin first, and then I'm going to talk about the unfortunate tales that we're going through right now when it comes to, you know, Terrence Bud Crawford and how people believe they have influence on what he does next. We know that's not the case. It sounds good, but ultimately it's up to grown adults. And this is what I'm saying, like, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, though. First in the building, Big Bunsen Box on deck, man. What it do? The GOAT on deck. What's good, man? I can't read everybody because I'm driving. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute. The OG on deck. I know. I know, man. That shit's hilarious, though. But it was good. It was good. I ain't gonna lie. It was, you know, hey. I'll talk about that a little later. But my main topic is Frank Martin, right? He's an undefeated fighter that was supposed to be signed to Mayweather. I mean, not Mayweather. Freaking Man Down Promotion. They started with an M and an A. You know what I'm saying? Man Down Promotions. And for the sound of it, it seems like it has value to it. But come to find out, when you start to calculate the numbers based off what he was being offered, Frank Martin found out, just like Errol Spence found out, that the numbers wasn't adding up correctly. You know what I'm saying? He found out, just like Errol Spence had to be sat down and explained that the money that he was missing out on, he needed to do something different. So that's why he had to change up his management team. Frank Martin is one of those guys, unfortunately, that it seems like he has an elbow deal, 360 twice. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to my colleague, Shaw News, break that down. You know, and pretty much he had a lot of people to pay, like TGB, Man Down Promotions. That's two entities without even thinking about what he could potentially be paying his manager. And if his manager is Al Heyman, from what I hear, he gets about 30. So you're looking at 30% there. And truth be told, honestly, like I say, I don't get into the numbers too much, but that's a lot of money being allocated out when you're not even a superstar yet. You're not even, you know what I'm saying, you're not even cracking M's on a regular basis. People were saying that he walked away from his highest payday. I get it. Your highest payday, no doubt about it. But what you take home made Frank Martin think about it. He had to sit up there and think about it, to be smart about what he was going to be taking home. And did it matter to him enough to go in there and fight Shakur Stevenson and take home that little bit of money that he would have had in his wallet. You know what I'm saying? And y'all make sure y'all check out Sean News The Sauce Experience. He did a video on that and made some solid points. And I'm looking at it like, you know, fighters want their name to be popping. You want people to be talking about you. You want your shit to be buzzing. Right now, Frank Martin, his name is buzzing for all the wrong reasons, man. And I'm starting to, I have to sit back a little bit and reassess. I said, let me rethink this. Is it so bad that Frank Martin pulled out of the fight? You know what I'm saying? Is it so bad when boxing is considered a business first? I don't think so, because boxing is a business first, man. So for him to pull out the fight because the numbers was you know, after calculating and adding everything up, the numbers just wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Showtime Shot News, man. Cooking with Sir Senior. What's good? Arnold Brown on deck. Shout out to you, Arnold. I got the Cash App, brother, the other day. I have 2 phones, but I appreciate your donation, brother. Much appreciated. One love to you, man. And also, shout out to Jamal Neezy. I got the Cash App. Salute to y'all. Much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? One love, man. Thanks for the support of the channel. WJ Luckett on deck. I'm just letting y'all know I'm driving, so y'all bear with me. Hey, Shot News, if you sign Frank Martin right now, that means he'll have a 550 deal. That nigga be spinning around so much when he stop. God damn it, only pennies gonna drop. He ain't gonna have nothing to take home. But ultimately, you know, fighters want their name buzzing in the streets, man, when it comes to boxing. And this is not good publicity for Frank Martin, to be honest with you. If indeed he has a lot of people to pay, I can name you plenty of fighters that have been in mediocre deals in their career, and they had to kind of buy time and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? We know who they are. It's been plenty. Jerron Ennis was in, you know, some deals where he was tied down for a minute. Terrence Crawford was in deals he was tied down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, even him. You know, the fact that he had to hire on Adrian Clark to pretty much clear up or clean up the situation that he was in without getting the money that he thought, you know, he was getting. Somebody had to wake him up and say, nah, this is what you're supposed to be getting. But for Frank Martin, bro, I don't know what you're gonna do next. Boxing is a grimy, slimy game, man. I just don't hear this type of situations going on in MMA. I don't hear it. But in boxing, all the time. All the time. And you shall get through this storm, Frank. Because you didn't take an L. You could have took that shit both ways. Real talk. You could have took it in your pockets and on the boxing docket. Your boxing ledger could have put out an L, and your pockets could have put out an L. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose 2 times in one night. So you want things to be different. So the fact that, you know, people were saying that he was going to get paid his highest payday, but yet the money that he was allocating out to those entities that supposed to be paying. You know what I'm saying? He didn't see fit that was what he wanted to do. It wasn't a good business move. And we can't sit up here and say boxing is a business first. But yet every time it's front and center, we want to ignore it like, I don't want to talk about that. It's a duck. It's a duck. Boxing is a motherfucking business. Whether you like it or not, dog. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is a business. It will forever be a business. Girl, you better stop them telling me so close. What's wrong with you? If you're gonna be that close to my bumper, at least give me your number. Damn. See, that's why insurance so high down in the insurance and that shit. And you tell them. And they wonder why they gotta have somebody like me to help them pay for their car insurance. Man, that shit so, my God, man. Insurance is high as shit because we be trying to race all the time. But anyway, back to the game though. Martin to get past this shit, man. I know Shakur Stevens is going in and look, Shakur Stevens is going in heavy on this thing, man. He called him a bitch. Shakur, called him a bitch, man. And, that's what I can't understand. From the outside in, if I was to call a boxer that, they'd be trying to wait to see you at a fight. But boxers disrespecting one another all the time. What is that, like house rules? What the fuck is that, house rules? Y'all can call each other bitches and all that, and then it's okay because y'all the one stepping in the ring? I mean, damn, if the man had to step aside because the money wasn't right, then that's what he had to do. I know for Shakur, them agreeing on everything, Shakur's probably looking at it like, this is something you should have did prior to agreeing for the fight. You should have got with your people already and made sure everything was good to go. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should have did. Nelly content was good. Couldn't get credentials no more for saying that. Yeah, they'll be up here like, man, don't let so-and-so come in here and do this, and this. Or they approve you for credentials and goddamn try to shit on you. But let's keep our prayers. Let's keep Frank Martin in our prayers because he's experiencing what a lot of fighters have experienced, going to experience, and will experience when they've met with situations where business is first. Business being first, it doesn't sit well with everybody. It doesn't, bro. You know what I'm saying? Business doesn't sit well with everybody. Seriously. And Frank Martin is finding that out big time. Business doesn't sit well with everybody. They'll say boxing is a business. By the time somebody starts doing business, then what? People got problems with it. And it's not even their money, y'all. It's not even their money. So supposedly, Shakur Stevenson supposedly is going to fight Edwin De Los Santos. And I heard a certain channel up here making a big deal off a picture with him just chilling. And I'm saying to myself, how often do you not do your research and try to find out when something happened? What was the date? He's up there trying to insinuate that De Los Santos was looking super fat and all that. That wasn't even the case. First of all, whoever took the picture was damn near 200 feet away, right? And all De Los Santos had was a white cup in his hand, and people assuming that it was liquor in there. Man, it's just bad media. You look at boxing like, damn, does everything have to be drama? You know what I'm saying? Does everything have to be drama? Does everything have to be fabricated? Does everyone have to write a fictional story and tell it once they go live? I mean, De Los Santos is up on the bank, and he's not looking like Adrian Broner. Come on, man. I don't know if y'all seen AB, but that's what AB does, man. AB, he don't care, man. AB keeps it 1,000, bro. Love him or hate him, bro. AB is gonna give you who he is. That man was up in Mickey D's, and supposedly, you know, whenever that fight that come around, now AB looked like he been enjoying some Big Macs 2-for-1 specials. They act like De Los Santos was up there looking all fat and shit, and he was just chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? People up there act like, oh man, I couldn't even recognize him. Come on now, man, come on, you exaggerating for the wrong reasons, bro. That dude didn't look like AB, man. AB, when he's in between fights, he's giving you what he's giving you. Real talk. That's what he's giving you. That's what these motherfuckers giving you, dog. He's giving you the raw AB. He walk into a restaurant, no shirt on, gut out. Hey. Los Santos was nowhere close to that. But yet, his name was only buzzing because he's the one that's probably set to face Shakur Stevenson, who Frank Martin just pulled out the fight with. And I don't blame Frank Martin at all. But he does hold liability for agreeing to numbers and then aborting mission on those numbers. That's what I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? You agreed to the numbers. So therefore you had to have somebody from your team explain to you what the numbers were. Once you understood that, you agreed. Once they sent the paperwork, you must have did another secondary fact check, have somebody scrub the numbers and see what you would actually be taking home. And you found out those numbers may potentially be lower than what you want. And you said, no, I'm out. I get it, bro. I get it, man. I get it, bro. You know, you being raked over the coals right now, that Martin. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I understand, man. I get it. You being raked over the coals, man. Butt naked, dog. They goddamn making sure every part of you burn in this motherfucking criticism that they get. Only because they looking at it like, hey, you agreed to something, but yet it's still you left at the last minute. That's what the Charlos was freaking holding Andrade to for I don't know how long. They got to the last thing. You know, when you get to the last moment and pull out, it looks worse than you not taking the fight initially just because you didn't think the numbers was right. You didn't really waste people's time. It's a lot of people that's involved in the circulation of doing business in boxing, making those deals work. And once you waste their time and the boxer's time and everybody who's believing that, yeah, this is what we got going on next, and you pull out the fight, it really fucks a lot of things up. It does. It fucks a lot of shit up. Errol told Frank, you saw what happened to me, and you better get your money. Liberty said salute. Carlos Rosado, what's good? I'm driving, y'all, so I really cannot put a keen sense of interest in reading comments. I'm on the road. I'm going to visit a friend. Yes. I'm going to visit a friend. And I should keep y'all posted. But before I do that, I want to talk about the Terrence Crawford saga. It seems like the Terrence Crawford saga doesn't show any signs of egress. Egress is mean exiting. It doesn't show any signs of digressing. That means reducing the amount of attention that's given to it. It doesn't seem like either one of those are going to happen anytime soon. Somehow, some way, man, Bud Crawford has pretty much turned the world on its head. I'm talking about breakdancing style. Back in the day when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Spin the top. But in this case, it just seems like they're trying to do a head spin on gravel, broken glass. You know what I'm saying? Old walnut shells. It seems very painful, dog. Because what Crawford was able to accomplish is what we look for in boxing. You know, hey, we want the challenge to be there. You feel me? That's what we want. We want the challenge to be there. That's what we want.
There's a speed trap ahead.
We want the challenge, people. We want the challenge to be there. But what Crawford did on July 29th, he not only completed the challenge, but he did it too easy. He let people see his greatness. And I thought at 35 years old, having went through your career where people saying you wasn't doing shit and your career wasn't shit, right? It's like, what did you expect? You know, if someone has an open window to basically change levels in their career and elevate themselves, wouldn't they take full advantage of that? Yes, they would, right? So if they were saying that Crawford wasn't in the media, he turned down interviews like Bob said, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to brand himself enough, but yet at the peak of his career where he's making history, he does that. He started being more open to the media and accessible, right? He's carrying through his media obligations as far as self-promotion. He's going in there to fight what was supposed to be one of the toughest opponents of his boxing career. He was supposed to be doing that. And he did everything training-wise. And I also have to highlight what Bernie the Boxer made a point. They get on his, you know, they was calling in his show, and they have said this openly on the YouTube, on the YTC, that pretty much Terence Crawford was on the juice. There's a lot of criticism that I can look at and I can brush off, but if I was a boxer and somebody said I was on the juice, I mean, I would be worse than Terence Crawford on Twitter. I'll be worse. I would be absolutely worse if I know I'm a clean fighter and somebody's making false accusations, right? So then you look at what Bernie the Boxer said. Maybe his training camp, he did what he was supposed to. He basically embedded himself in training camp. He had one of the hardest training camps ever. Maybe it was how hard he worked in training camp, and those results played out in the ring. Maybe that was it. Instead of you saying that he was on juice, and he was juicing, and he was on pads. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should try to, you know, give the man his due diligence and props for training his ass off with a pre-camp and then going in there and beating up his opposition like so many fighters have done back in the day, you know? Terence Crawford did what a lot of fighters have done in the day, back in the day. He prepared in fight camp. He locked in. He locked in. And he went in there and got the victory. Now, I don't know about you, But isn't that what's supposed to happen? Isn't that what we're supposed to witness? I'm serious. Isn't that what we're supposed to happen? Like, why do we have so many people that was fucking with Crawford prior to him stepping in the ring July 29th? And they was unsure that the man would go in there and even get the win. That's the extreme pettiness of it all. If you was fucking with the man and you felt that he was absolutely who you say he was, and it was his moment to shine, he was about to go in there and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? You felt that ultimately he was doing what he's supposed to do outside the ring. That further assured that he was going to go in there and beat Spence. He did everything you wanted him to do. Now, when the actual scene played out in the movie, you didn't think that the script would be written in detail like it was for those 9 rounds that Crawford put on. You didn't believe that. But once again, while you were snacking on your popcorn, you found out that the movie was better than what you believed it would ever would be from 5 years in the making. 5 years in the making, you was able to see everything play out per the script that was talked, discussed, conversed, all of that. This man went in there and made it look easy. So let me ask you this question. What do you all expect a man to do, not just Crawford, a man to do, who has spent majority of his life trying to prove to people who he is? What do you expect from him after he go in there and annihilate his adversary, makes it look easy, set himself in a page in the boxing annals, y'all? This man does what he's supposed to do, gets the victory, first fighter to become 2-time undisputed. And then we have to deal with the boxing masses. And those boxing masses are some of the most ungrateful, unappreciative type of individuals you will ever meet in your goddamn life. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? The most ungrateful, unappreciative fans that you will ever meet in your fucking life. Yes, sir. Yeah. What is a man to think if he spent majority of his life proving to people that he has confidence in himself? They always say, if you don't have confidence in yourself, well, who is going to have confidence for you? And how is that going to translate to you being who you're supposed to in life? How are you going to grow? Explain that shit to me. How are you going to grow? If you don't have confidence in yourself to be the best you can be, how are you going to get there? So now, some of these Crawford fans that have witnessed greatness, it's not enough, y'all. Now, he's sitting at the top. He never popped 30 for clenbuterol. He never popped 30 for clenbuterol. Hell, he never popped 30, period. He never popped dirty at all. The man's been on the pound for pound list longer than anyone to date of this era. He's been up there for quite some time. But truth be told, y'all, it is not enough. The reason why it's not enough, because what he's been able to accomplish in the facet for which he did it, he feels that he can talk his shit and he can make choices. Now, as much as I don't like using military analysis, let me provide you with one. If I put in as much time as Crawford and we have achieved a certain pinnacle, a certain position in the service, yes, we are making decisions, y'all. We're making decisions. I'm not gonna lie to you, we're making decisions. We're making command decisions that benefit ourselves and benefit others. We're making decisions. We're making decisions, y'all. And those decisions is not gonna benefit everybody, because that's just not how you grow. You cannot appease everybody. So what Crawford's been able to achieve, you know, I'm looking at it like, how can everybody get on here and talk about making the bag and making the bag, right? But then this black fighter from Omaha, right? They talk about the man ain't did pay-per-view numbers. The man ain't never sold shit, wasn't putting butts. Y'all remember the shit? He ain't putting butts in the seats. He ain't putting butts in the seats. No butts in the seats. He ain't putting butts in the seats. No butts. No butts. No butts in the seats. That's what they were saying about Crawford. No butts in the seats, y'all. And then the man pretty much has a dance partner. They do upwards of 700,000. This man has a rematch clause. And in the process of him being tied in, there's other entities, his compeers, such as Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, is choosing to take it upon themselves to put it out there that they want to fight Bud Crawford, especially since he's moving up to 154. Not only that, these were individuals that Bud Crawford deemed that didn't give him that love when he was trying to get the fight. You know what I'm saying? When he was trying to come up and climb the ladder, they didn't show him that love. So now they're in a different position. They in the wanting position. They're shifting gears to want to get to third, fourth, fifth, and maybe have interest in Crawford looking at them as a potential fight. But we was talking about the bag. How is this discussion with certain fighters okay to talk about them making the most money as possible? But yet, when it comes to Bud, if he feels that, let's just say for Boots Ennis, he said, I don't want to fight Boots because, I mean, that's not something that's going to be beneficial to me. You know what I'm saying? He offers nothing on the table. At this point in Crawford's career, he can say that the negotiation and everything he learned from that negotiation with Spence, he's trying to make more and more money. You heard Spence talk about how grueling negotiation was. So Crawford's trying to put business first and make as much money and maximize his profits and revenue at this point in his career, because he don't have long. He's on the back end of his career, right? Then you take a snapshot on him saying, okay, Boots don't offer me any benefit. Keith Thurman has been inactive. Though he only has one loss, he's been inactive, and he lost to Manny Pacquiao, who's a much older fighter. DSG, he is a corporate dude. You know what I'm saying? He went in there and got the orders and got beat up by Spence. Then moved up to 154 and fought Jose Benavidez and had an emotional breakdown because he know that he took the orders from Spence, and he had to find a way to get back in the good graces of his fans. So he had a nervous breakdown in the ring. Now he's about to potentially step up to 160 and face Erislandy Lara. So this is what I'm trying to break down to you you Crawford fans that's thinking about or have made the decision to jump ship. These fighters are all over the place. If you're in a position to make the money with no retirement plan on the back end, no health care on the back end, why are we so vested in words? If Crawford said they'll never get a shot at the titles, can I ask you who has the titles? Can I just ask you that one question? Who has the titles? He has the title. Bud Crawford has the titles, yo. So being that he's earned his shot by fighting who y'all deem the man in the welterweight division, he went in there and decimated that guy. He still has to prove to you all. He still has to come back to you all to ask for permission to talk his shit on Twitter. I don't think so, brother. I don't think so. I don't think he owes y'all anything. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, why in the hell he got to sit up here and ask permission for people that's not helping him prepare for battle? You didn't help him prepare. You know what I'm saying? Just like Drake said, he wasn't with me in the gym. He wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying? You just wasn't there from the beginning. Seriously, you wasn't there, man. So how are y'all gonna try to censor what the fuck he's saying? Boxing is supposed to be one of the most long-standing sports up to date, and we got people in here acting like, man, they're trying their best to semi-regulate the sport. You know what I'm saying? They do that through social media. They want to act like they're going to regulate certain entities in the sport. Talking about who can say what and when they can say it. If this man say, I mean never, never, just think about this. It's some guys out there that's told a female, check this out. It's some dudes out there, and I did this myself, that try to holler at a female that didn't want to give you no time of day. But yet, she felt that she was in a better place. She tried to return back to the scene and present that same, question that you presented to her. And fellas be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Or it could have been so bad that she's like, man, that bum ass, no, I ain't talking to him. No, forget that. No. No time of day. No, forget that. No, it ain't happening. And then that person returned, and we like, no, I don't like how you did me last time. No, you was up there front. No, fuck that. I don't have nothing to say to you. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no interest, blah, blah, blah. You talk your shit, right? But just because Crawford said that DSG and Thurman would never get a shot at the titles, is it that bad? Is it that bad, y'all? Are we not in a sport where fighters talk their shit? Are we not in a world where people talk their shit? What the fuck is going on, man? This shit is crazy, dog. This man tell two fighters, and look, we'll have debates all the time on how DSG ducked Crawford. They'll talk about how DSG ducked Crawford. They'll talk about how Thurman never gave Errol Spence a shot. How Thurman wasn't even looking over Crawford's way. You know what I'm saying? They'll talk about the different scenes, and they'll talk about right when it happened. They'll give you definitive times. They'll narrow it down to the T. Well, all of a sudden, Crawford is the man, homie. And y'all sit up here acting like this man can't put out a tweet. Why does he have to go through so much negative energy on where people are trying to ostracize him, banish him from being relevant in the sport? Is it his skin tone? Is it where he's from in Omaha? If he was from Texas, would it be good? You know, would it be a bit more presentable if Crawford was from Texas, was from somewhere different, that had a plethora of professional sports other than boxing? And the riddle that we can't seem to solve as to why Crawford still have to continue to prove himself more than most. Somebody tell me why this man has to keep on proving himself. You trying to tell me Crawford can't send out a tweet and say, y'all are never getting a title shot? Now, you got to look at it this way, too. I always try to process shit ahead of time. Crawford saying they're not going to get a shot at the titles. How long do you think he's going to have those titles? How long do you think he's going to be paying those sanctioning fees? All he's trying to do is fulfill his contractual obligation to fight Errol Spence in a rematch. And then, I'm pretty sure, if another fight doesn't present itself, that's a moneymaker. That's a top dollar fight. Because we always underscoring in parentheses, air quotes, this is prize fighting. You feel me? So help me understand. Is it only prize fighting? If you say it's prize fighting, is it only prize fighting when if it's your popular fighter? No, it don't work like that. That's fuckboy shit. You can't sit up here and pick and choose what fighter is making all the right moves when it comes to the bag and it's prize fighting and it's business first. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do that. That's called being selfish. That's called being prejudiced. That's called saying you're discriminating. That's what that is. You're discriminating. And a lot of you all are discriminating against the moves that he's trying to make. And we've said this before, right? We've heard fighters say, no, let me rephrase it. We've seen fighters call out other fighters who are tied down in a fight just to get their name out there. They will call out other fighters while they already have obligations to fight another fighter. In the meantime, boxing, it seems like we are the ants. We are the ants of media. You drop a little bit of sugar or crumbs on us, everybody's scrambling to get a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? And and see if it's fit for consumption to talk about. That's the way I look at it, bro. It's always like that. How can you pick and choose what is deemed prize fighting and what fighter is doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like this too. Mario Barrios, DSG, Keith Thurman, or even Jerron Ennis if he chose to. If these fighters are talking about they want to fight Crawford now, the only thing they're doing is just practicing. Because he's already locked in with Spence, who has been on record as enacting his rematch clause. So what's the purpose? I mean, real talk, what's the fucking purpose? What are you trying to do? Like, the man already has a freaking fight. So right now, if anybody is talking and trying to goddamn get some attention to call out Crawford, they just doing it for practice. They just doing that shit for practice, y'all. Because it's not gonna make a motherfucking difference. Because that man ain't fighting nobody but Spence in this next fight. Real talk. He's not fighting nobody but Spence. And just think about that. We're in August right now. No, we're in September. Damn. We're in September. We have October, November, December. All right? So we're looking at 3 months. And then you think about the news having been broke to when the next fight date is going to be. So you take those 3 months, you add on another 2 months just to get out the New Year's. So we're looking at 5 months. So for the next 5 months, any fighter who decides to call out Terrence Crawford should get attention. And Crawford needs to give them attention to say, you know what? Let me think about that. You said Barrios? Oh, shit. Barrios. What's his numbers again? Oh, you don't have no numbers. Oh, okay. What about Keith Thurman? Outside of unification, what's his numbers again? Oh, shit. This sounded like what they were saying about me. They said that I ain't have no numbers. What about that other guy? Oh, DSG? Well, you know, he has been in there with some top names. I ain't asked you all that. DSG, what's his numbers looking like? Well, it's not really no. Okay. But he is about to go up there and fight at 160, which is going. I didn't ask you that. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about 60. So let me get this straight. They all of a sudden calling me out, but really, neither one of them is going to take me higher than what I did with Spence. Is that what you're telling me? If I fight DSG, Mario Barrios, Keith Thurman, can you come up with a plan in order to assist me to basically exceed the numbers that I did at the T-Mobile Arena with Spence? Well, that's damn near impossible, Mr. Crawford. Okay. It's been nice talking to you. I'll get up. I'll get my people to get in contact with you. No, we're not finished. No, I'm good. Because I'm in search of someone who can help me exceed those numbers. Like, what's that guy's name? Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he will help you exceed those numbers that you did with Spence. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I'm trying to get paid. It's prize fighting, right? It's still prize fighting, right? Yes, it is. So I'll be talking to you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Crawford, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Anything you need? No, I'm good. I just wanted to make this clear because some people seem to be perturbed that I'm not giving certain fighters the opportunity to fight me after I go in here and annihilate Errol Spence Jr. for a second time. They feel that I should already set the tone. It's funny that I didn't hear people saying that about Crawford though. But all of a sudden, he needs to set the tone. I get it. You know, he needs to set the tone. He needs to lock in the names of the fighters that he's going to fight in order. He's going to fight Spence, and then he's going to fight either Boots or Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia. He has to be a good boy. He has to stay in line. He has to walk with one foot directly in front of the other. He has to walk head and eyes straight to the front, thumbs on the trouser seam. Aye, sir. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. Man, y'all tripping, man. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's wild. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I think, why does fighters want to be fighters? Why do they want to participate in the sport of boxing? It's tough. Because if you are banking on the consumers to come and see you fight, what is the dynamic that gets you to a point where fans respect you enough to come see you fight? And they're going to sustain that loyalty to you to pay to come see you fight. You know what I'm saying? What is the dynamic to make that shit happen? What is the curriculum? What is the chapter? What is the index for me to go to that chapter and say, this is how it's done? Because it's never going to be a template, bro. Because fans do some of the weirdest, funkiest, fuckboy shit. They will hold you accountable for shit that you didn't know you can be held accountable for. They can be mad at you for being attached to a certain body. They can get mad at you, in this case, that you're not from a more popular entity in boxing, a popular state, a popular region in boxing. They can be mad at you if you beat one of their favorite fighters. Not the fact that you just beat them, but you beat them damn good. And you messed up the entire scheme on what they was trying to, sell out here to the general public on YTC. They get mad at you just because you look different. They mad at you because you won't give them attention. You got content creators that's mad at fighters who have undertaken an infatuation, all because the fighter didn't give them an interview. All because the fighter didn't want to work with them. All because the fighter didn't return or respond to messages that they sent. Man. That shit is wild. They just upset, man. They take out this vendetta. I don't have a vendetta against Spence. I don't. I'm talking about shit that's on the surface, that's accessible to everybody, the general public, all that. But they start to make accusations. And I know, in this life, people are judgmental on everything. They love, sitting up here saying what people ain't doing and what they think they're doing, what they should be doing and all that other bullshit. But at the end of the day, bro, it's unfortunate that Crawford has to go through this, and I can understand his frustration in the way he's talking all of a sudden. And the way he's been talking, seriously, the way he's been talking, you can tell he's fed up with a lot of shit. You can tell he's fed up with a lot of shit, bro. See, the one thing I can say about Spence, Spence don't care as much. Because he don't fuck with the YTC like that. You have content creators that would be extremely moist to say, I'm talking with Spence, but you're not talking with Spence. You know what I'm saying? I understand where some people feel good about saying they have a connection with a certain fighter. I'm gonna put it to you like this, like, for a fighter to continue to try to win over the fans, to try to find that smooth, denominator, that smooth connection, that lifeline, that healthy lifeline. In order for a fighter to find that, with the fans, like Canelo has this sense where he don't have to do a lot of talking. But when people see Canelo, people's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Canelo understands who he is in life and who he is in the sport of boxing. Canelo comes in here like he's the creme de la creme. He does. He's been at the top for a long time when it comes to this prize fighting and this revenue, being the cash cow and the face of boxing. He's been there for a while. So when Crawford gets to that point, y'all are just proving what everybody says about boxing. It's some shit that I don't see in MMA when it comes to racism and reverse racism and prejudice and all that. I don't see it. Like, you can have black champions over there just like you can have Latino, white champions, whatever the case. You can have that shit. But the vitriol that goes on and the way boxing fans and media treat boxers is the most project-having sport you can think of. I'm just saying, It's some ghetto ass ratchet project type of damn shit that goes on in here. It seems like everybody is all about finding a bowl of controversy, and they want to spoon feed that shit out to the public. I'm just saying, bro. It happens like that all the time in boxing. They make it seem like it's nothing when it comes to the recipe to make sure that boxers are getting the most nutritional reporting from us, the media, as possible. So when they're not really getting something that's savory from the media, it kind of affects their attitude when we also have an encounter and media meets up. That's why they're so picky. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're so finicky about giving themselves, free reign with media. Like they're very optimistic about this shit. And I can understand it, man, because this shit can be it's a dirty fucking game, yo. This is a dirty fucking game, this boxing shit. Not just the sport itself, you know what I'm saying? Not just the sport and doing business, but how people treat one another, from boxer to boxer, media to boxer, boxer to media. It's a dirty game, bro. And this is a perfect example of what Crawford was able to do. I'm telling you, if I was Crawford, y'all, I would be absolutely worse when it came to Twitter. I would be worse than Keyshawn. I would be worse than Terrence. I would not give a fuck, because I'm feeling like I'm putting all this work in. I'm breaking down my body. I'm trying my damnedest to prove to the people. Now I'm at the peak of glory. This is what I set my mind to. I'm working and working and working. Blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifice, aches and pains. I'm doing everything I ever knew I could do. I had confidence in myself. I'm doing everything I knew I could do, and the results are showing. And then you get people up here saying, hey, I understand Crawford beat Spence, man, but that wasn't the real Spence. He didn't even be the real champion, truth be told. That wasn't even the real champion. That wasn't even the real champion, truth be told. That wasn't even the real champion. That wasn't even the real champion. For Keith Thurman to say some of the most dumbest shit I've ever heard in boxing, he didn't be the real champion. He didn't be the real champion. Think about that shit. Keith Thurman, who was a unified champion prior to Errol Spence Jr., who he showed no love to when Errol Spence was the IBF and Keith was the WBC, WBA. He showed no love to. And due to his inactivity, injuries, he had a hurt hand, you know what I'm saying? One of his second joints of his pinky finger was a little bit dislocated, and then he broke a nail, right? So he was saying that in the Pacquiao fight, he was in the casino eating ice cream and at 2 o'clock in the morning because his hand was hurt. He wanted something cold to put on his body, to help out with the pain of his hand. I don't know. But he lost to Manny Pacquiao. But for that dude to come back around and say that he didn't fight a real champion, and if Thurman would have been in there with Errol Spence, well, I have to ask you this, Keith. I mean, just like I say this for Errol Spence, he could have fought Crawford instead of going the easy route, brother. He could have fought Crawford ahead of time. Then you could have fought Errol Spence, and you could have set all those questions to rest and not come up here talking about scenarios in hindsight when the guy that both of you all was blackballing and told to get a belt, now he's at the top. You've seen the growth and everything, and you have something to basically devalue what his accomplishments were. You're pretty much saying he didn't fight a real champion. You said the man didn't fight a real champion, dog. 3 belts. That's crazy. What if he just had one more belt and Crawford was challenging for the undisputed titles? What if he was fighting for one? Look, what if he had one more belt and he was the undisputed champion? What if Crawford was a challenger and went there and beat Spence like that, who was the undisputed champion? But Keith Thurman come up here talking about he didn't fight a real champion. And then, Keith, you sat up there and watched how he did Yordenis Ugas. You seen how he fought Yordenis Ugas, and he was being touched up in that fight. Well, all of a sudden, Crawford goes in here and does that shit easy, knowing that you would never in your life say that Bud Crawford is less of a fighter than Yordenis Ugas. And you didn't expect Terence Crawford to go in there and give that type of performance because he's less of a fighter than Yordenis Ugas. So being that he's less of a fighter than Ugas, it was shocking to you that he was able to pull that off. So pretty much with Keith Thurman, he said everything, but the man was juicing. You understand what I'm saying? He said everything, but directly accused Terence Crawford of juicing. He did. He said everything except accused that man of having loaded gloves. Because at the end of the day, people are still in awe about the way the results happen. How proficiently Crawford was able to delegate that ass whooping. I'm questioning the sanity of boxing. That's why I did that live stream on PTSD and schizophrenia. Because you're having content creators out here that's switching up and trying to pretend like they're somebody they're not, just for attention. They may really care about somebody or like somebody, but on the YTC, they're acting like they have multiple personalities, and they want to do this shit just for views. You know what I'm saying? They want to 1 minute, act like they're on this side, and then the next minute they're switching up for no reason. Why? That's like running rapid across the YTC on grown-ass adults, taking that method and saying, yeah, I got to find somewhere to switch it up. I got to put on another cape. I got to get a different mask, and this is what I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to switch it up and keep it intriguing. I got to keep this intrigued. You know what I'm saying? Suspenseful. Yeah, I got to keep the people thinking. I got to keep them steadily guessing on what I'm going to do next. Truth be told, that's called bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You want to hold down multi-personalities. 1 minute, you got down, you really fucking with a fighter. Next minute, look, I went through that shit with blood. You know what I'm saying? You see people that you think are decent adults, but then on the YTC, you're basically saying, I'm going to switch personalities. I have no fear of that and no remorse. I don't feel bad about it. I'm going to switch personalities. What you're used to seeing with me, you're not going to see anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see anymore. I'm about to switch it up. Just so I can prove to somebody that I'm not a dick rider. If you believe you're a dick rider in life, you got problems already. If you even think that God bless you men with one and that's not enough, but you want to ride somebody else's, then you have that issue that you have to deal with. You feel me? Like you never hear me say pause when I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? I can say I'm hard pressed to think this. It's no pause. That's what is bewildering to me too. Men can't even carry on a decent conversation without thinking they saying some gay shit. But back to the topic. I went through the shit with blood boxing, which I thought it was a pretty stand-up dude, a solid cat. then to come find out, he want to switch up just for fun too. How can one man get you to switch up and he ain't did shit? How can I influence somebody else to do something and go against what they naturally feel? You naturally feel this way. If you feel good about supporting this fighter, continue to support. But you had people like Blue, he's become the Serena Williams of freaking media. That man loves freaking playing tennis. He's on that side, he's receiving. One minute he's serving, and then before you know it, he ran across the net and he's receiving. He don't know what side that he want to play on. Switched up for no reason. Crawford still undefeated to this day. Still undefeated to this day, man. But yet, it's almost like he still has to prove to people that he's the best out there. And you think he shouldn't feel some type of way? Man, he should be livid. Weighing on the side of composure. He should be livid that the fans that was rocking with him, that he gave all that to on July 29th. He gave all them what they wanted to see. He went in there and not only beat Spence up, but he was having a conversation, a sidebar, to the next fighter that he wants to fight after that. He was over there talking shit to the next fighter that he was calling out. How savage is that? I'm gonna call it right down the middle. I think it's prejudice. Real talk, I think it's prejudice. Even from my own people. It's prejudice when you choose to treat something and you're not even provoked to do that shit. You're not even provoked. You're choosing to be prejudiced about a situation that didn't affect you in no way, shape, or form. It didn't affect you at all. It's just motherfuckers get bored on this media shit, and they take it upon themselves. Oh, I gotta switch it up. I gotta switch. What can I switch up? Who can I switch up on? I'm going through a rough patch right now, so I apologize for the rough. You know how the damn sound is vibrating in the background. But what I'm saying is, how can these cats just switch up and go against what they naturally feel? You know what I'm saying? You're genuinely feeling good about somebody. You're supporting them genuinely. You have no reason to dislike or hate them. And then all of a sudden, you want to assume another character. That's schizophrenia. That's mental problems. Because you're telling everybody that, oh, I've been supporting this boxing game for a long time. You always hear people say that. I've been supporting this boxing game for a long ass time. So you would think with time come what? Experience. But not here in this asylum. Now this is an asylum right here. You got people just acting fucked up, for crazy reasons. I mean, just petty reasons. They just want to act a certain way, bro. Like, this man is still undefeated. He's 40-0. And he's probably sitting there during his downtime thinking, why has that trooper got his door open like that, man? What the fuck? You have people that's switching up on you. Just think about this. Think about if you have friends like that you've been knowing them for as long as these people been knowing these fighters. And they've been knowing them at least 10 years, right? I'm talking about their friends. They've known their friends for 10 years. And all of a sudden, you switch up on them. They switch up on you. You're gonna say, why are you switching up on me? There was no reason. I just feel like we've been knowing each other for so long, everything been going well. So I feel I should do something different. So switching up on me and basically somebody I don't like, you're starting to be their friend now. Yeah, pretty much. I'm just gonna do something different. What if your friends did you like that? Like, hey, just gonna switch up for fun. I'm just bored. I need somebody to give me that energy that I'm looking for. I'm bored. That's the kind of impression I get from boxing. This shit is crazy, dog. But man, y'all hold it down, man. It's been a pleasure. Hey, hopefully somebody got something from it. This shit don't make no sense. Hey, Bud Crawford, you're never gonna be able to, you're never gonna be able to accommodate all these individuals that call them so-called fans of boxing. And you know what I'm saying? You'll never be able to truly understand who's your fan and who's basically solid. You know what I'm saying? And not looking for a way to turn their back on you just because of everything you say. And it's been people out there that said worse than that. You know what I'm saying? It's been people out here that said worse than what Roy Crawford said. But in the reality of it all, it's not going to be the last time that we hear some shit like this. You feel me? So I want to give a shout to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. Y'all hold this shit down, man. Continue to support the channel. If you're watching, do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button on your way out. I would truly appreciate it. Continue to support the channel. Yes, sir. The grind isn't easy. I'm on the road. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.